Hey guys, okay, this video I'm going to talk about what is the tax detail process is usually like and what to expect and just basically some of the rules and things like that. I'm outside and hopefully a car will not go driving back behind this parking lot where I am behind my office. And I'm sorry that we don't have that much light out, but that's one of the perils of it getting dark so much sooner now, although I get an extra hour of sleep. Less light outside. So let's run through the process real quick. I'm going to talk about location, the rules, registration, and the bidding process. So the first thing I wanted to say in regards to location, you want to find out where the sale is going to be held. Is it going to be at the courthouse, where most of them are usually held, or is it going to be held at one of the county's offices? If it's at the courthouse, of course, you have to recognize that there is certain decorum you have to have in the courthouse and dress. So you don't want to just walk in any kind of way inside the courthouse, especially if it's inside of a courtroom. And you also have to be aware that usually when you're going to these courthouses, there's usually a, what they call a metal detector. So make sure you don't bring anything in there that's going to set off the metal detector and delay your time in getting through the line, because you can easily miss an auction because you're having to take off your belt and, leave the pocket knife in the car or whatever. And even tweezers, they've even taken... Well, they haven't taken my tweezers. I left the tweezers in the car. They told me not to bring in the tweezers. One time, one particular courthouse, I walked in and I had this little spray bottle of, it wasn't perfume. It was more like a after bath splash, and I hadn't used it at all. And they told me I couldn't go in there with it. And it was too far to walk to my car. I wouldn't have time to walk to my car. And I ended up having to dump it right there because I couldn't take it with me. Although I said, well, at least let me get to use it one time before I threw it out. So I pulled it out to go ahead and spray it, and like 5 deputies came running. No, you weren't even allowed to spray it in that area. So just beware, don't bring stuff in there that they're not going to allow inside the courthouse. So you have to walk back to your car or just lose it. If you're unsure, just leave it. I normally just leave my purse and don't bring anything up there because it's full of everything. So if it's at the courthouse, just be prepared. If it's off-site, it's usually much more casual. And sometimes they'll even do it on the steps of the courthouse. So you don't even have to go inside the courthouse. It's right there on the steps of the courthouse. Let's see, other things we should go through the rules. And they'll normally read off the rules, and you can go on the website and they'll tell you what those rules are. Usually, what I write here, driver's license. I don't know why somebody would not come to the sale with their driver's license, but I've had people complain to me that I didn't tell them they need to come with their driver's license. Trust me, if you're driving to the courthouse, you should have your driver's license on you. But bring your driver's license because they may ask for ID. Then also, when the bidding starts, they may have different increments that they'll accept. Sometimes they'll accept $100 increments. Sometimes they'll accept $10 or $1,000 increments. One particular place we go to, they accept $100 increments up until you get to $20,000. After $20,000, they only want $1,000 increments. So just be aware of that. So that way you know how you're supposed to be bidding. Another thing is that sometimes they'll ask you to go a little bit slower. Don't talk as fast, because somebody is writing down each and every one of the bids. So you have to give them time to write out the bids. It may not be as fast as a typical sale. Some places require that you register before the auction. Some places say it's okay, there's no registration required. So you just have to find out. And sometimes when you register, I've seen one county where they actually collect the deposit right there on the spot when you register. And they'll put it in a little rubber band and separate your money out from the rest of everyone else's money. So that way when they return your cash, let's say you didn't buy anything, and you registered, and they required you put up the deposit. If you didn't buy anything, they would make sure that you got your cash back. It didn't intermingle with anybody else's. So you can either register, some places require it, and some places don't. You want to find out what the procedure is like. Let's say you do win the auction. Do you know what name you're going to put the property in? Some places have a lot of rules about what name you can put it in. Others could care less. You can put it in Mickey Mouse for all they care. It doesn't make a difference. So find out what the rules are as far as, I hope that AC running is not making us too low for you guys to hear. So find out, I lost my train of thought, but find out what about the names, what names you can put it in. And if you are going to put in a different name, make sure you have that name with you and the address, because sometimes you get up there, if it's your first one, you might get nervous and you might forget the information. And if you win, congratulations. They'll normally ask for a deposit. And then you have to return with the balance. So just make sure that you have the money in the bank or with you when it comes to that time. And then you just return with the balance. And I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions at all, you're free to post a comment. Be sure to like my Queen of Tax Deeds page on Facebook. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and like our page as well, or follow. All right? That's it, and I hope you're able to hear everything. I'm actually shooting this video on my iPad. Here comes a car. You probably think I'm weird. Hello. I'm shooting this video on my iPad because my iPhone right now is holding my other video hostage because apparently it was too big for the iPhone. There's too much on the iPhone. So while I try to get that off, I'm shooting it off my iPad right now. All right, any questions, post them. Be sure to like us on Facebook and mark it as a favorite on YouTube. Thank you.